Welcome back to Note Lab Mode. You know how we love to cut through the noise and get straight to the insights that really matter? Well, today we're taking a high-resolution look into something truly transformative. We're talking about how the world's most ambitious tech leaders are actually building AI-native teams and products. And look, this isn't just, aspirational data from some think tank. No, this is a sharp signal pulled directly from over 500 top execs, product engineering, founder level. These are VC or private equity-backed companies, Series A or beyond, credible ARR, teams from 50 up to over 1,000 people. This is the real, on-the-ground intelligence you need.
Yeah, exactly. And what gives this research its real weight is that it was invite only
Yeah.
and global. We're talking insights from places like the GCC, Berlin, New York, London, Amsterdam. It's really an unfiltered view from the people who aren't just talking about AI, but are deep in the trenches building with it.
Yeah.
Applied AI at the cutting edge.
Absolutely. Intelligence straight from the front lines. And before we dive deeper into this fascinating research, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Cloutfit.ai. Now, if you're in e-commerce, you already know influencer marketing is huge, right? But let's be honest, how often does it feel a bit disconnected from actual sales? Cloutfit.ai changes that completely. They connect influencer outfits directly to your product inventory, so their content becomes instantly shoppable. This isn't just about getting eyeballs. It actually drives more direct sales and, crucially, higher average order value for your business. Want to learn more? Visit cloutfit.ai. That's cloudfit.ai. Really, go check them out. Could be a game changer for your influencer strategy. All right, let's unpack this. We're talking about a fundamental re-architecture of how companies are being built. So when it comes to steering this massive AI shift, who's actually holding the rudder, according to this research? Who's making the calls?
It's actually incredibly revealing when you look at the executive makeup. CTOs are, well, unequivocally leading the charge. That's 48.5% of the key decision makers. They're followed pretty closely by CPOs, chief product officers, at 29.1%. Then you see VPs of product at 9.7%, VPs of engineering at 6.8%. And yeah, founders, CDOs, even some CEOs are in the mix, but in smaller percentages. What this really tells us is that at the forefront of AI adoption, it's the technical and product visionaries. The CTOs and CPOs are seizing the reins here. It's not just some top-down mandate. It's a technical revolution driven from the core of product development.
That's a really powerful insight. It suggests AI isn't just like a business strategy add-on. It's deeply technical, product-centric from the get-go. So with those leaders guiding the ship, what do the actual hiring trends look like on the ground? Are companies still just hiring traditional machine learning engineers, or are we seeing a surge in brand new, maybe more specialized AI roles?
Well, machine learning engineers absolutely remain the, let's call it the workhorse of AI hiring. It's 43% of new hires, still dominant. But here's where it gets really interesting. The research shows this sharp uptick in product-focused ML engineers, that's 25%, and AI product managers at 26%. Now, this isn't just a subtle shift, right? It signals a really critical transition. It's moving from pure AI experimentation, the can we build this phase, to serious productization, to how do we actually get this into our users' hands?
That makes perfect sense, pushing AI out of the lab and into the live product. But you mentioned something surprising earlier, a counter statistic, that not everyone is actually playing this game.
Exactly. And this is what's equally revealing and, frankly, quite alarming. 21% of these respondents are not hiring AI roles at all. This highlights a really clear and I think growing divide between what we might call the builders and the bystanders. And the research issues a stark warning here. Teams that haven't made these foundational AI hires by 2025, they risk being permanently left behind. Think of it like, I don't know, missing the internet boom entirely for your core business. The gap could become almost impossible to bridge later on.
Wow, permanently left behind. That's a chilling thought. So, okay, for the companies that are hiring, what kind of experience are they looking for? Is AI still a field where, recent grads can easily jump in? Or are they really looking for seasoned pros, people who can hit the ground running? Are they aiming for velocity or training projects?
Oh, absolutely velocity. The data is unequivocal on this. AI isn't really a playground for generalists or folks fresh out of university right now. Over half, more than 50% of all AI hires fall into that 3 to 6 year experience bracket, a strong preference for mid-level talent. And senior hires, those with 7 to 12 years, they're not far behind at 43%. Entry-level hiring. By stark contrast, it sits at a mere 17%. So this strongly suggests companies want established professionals, people who can deliver immediate impact, not require extensive hand-holding or training. It's all about accelerating their AI journey, not starting from square one.
That's a crucial point, definitely, for anyone looking to break into the field or hire for it. Now, let's talk about where these AI teams actually sit. structurally, within the organization. Is AI still like a separate specialized department off to the side? Or is it becoming something else entirely? He said the research suggests AI is no longer a sidecar.
Yeah, and this is where we see a really significant, almost philosophical shift in org design. A striking 75% of these leading companies are embedding AI talent directly within their core product and engineering teams. And this isn't just, a structural tweak. It's about making AI a fundamental layer baked into every meaningful product, not some siloed department. Now, to be clear, there's still a bit of a split. 36% of companies do keep AI within dedicated R&D labs. So that suggests a kind of bifurcation, maybe, between pure innovation hubs and the embedded execution teams. But the hybrid team model, it's 31%, is clearly winning out over purely centralized AI centers, which are only at 16%. The trend is undeniably towards decentralized AI deployment, but with smart centralized oversight. And the specifics back this up. 78% are embedded into core product engineering, 52% integrated into data and analytics teams.
That's a huge shift, making AI truly central, not peripheral.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving from org structure to daily execution, what about the tech choices, the stacks? Are these leading companies all converging on the same tools, or is there a lot of diversity? What's happening in their tech stacks for applied AI?
Well, OpenAI's APIs are certainly the default, no big surprise there. 78% of respondents are using them. But beneath that headline number, there's actually significant fragmentation, a lot of exploration happening. For instance, 48% are using Anthropic. A robust 31% are already deploying RAG pipelines, retrieval augmented generation, which, for listeners, basically means they're giving the AI a curated library of their own internal documents or live data to draw from. That makes its answers far more accurate and relevant to their specific business, cuts down on those notorious hallucinations. We also see 26% using vector databases, which are pretty essential for organizing and searching the data that fuels these AI models. And another 26% are experimenting with LangChain, a popular framework for building LLM applications. So yeah, the LLM gold rush is definitely underway, but the toolchain maturity, it's still very much in flux.
Right. That paints a picture of intense innovation, but also, yeah, a lot of moving pieces, lots of experimentation. So beyond just picking an LLM provider, what's the new arms race here? In this rapidly evolving tech landscape, what are companies doing to really gain a unique edge?
That's a great question, because it gets to competitive advantage, right? The new frontier, the real arms race, is definitely fine-tuning. About a third of companies are blending foundational models, fine-tuning them, and doing some custom training. Now, just to clarify, fine-tuning isn't training a model from scratch. Very few do that, only about 5%. It's more like taking a powerful existing model like GPT-4 or Claude and then teaching it with your own specific unique data set. It's like giving a brilliant student a masterclass in your company's, secret sauce. This ability to selectively fine-tune models using unique data, that's becoming critical for creating what the research calls unique data moats. Imagine your company data is a secret recipe. Fine-tuning is how you bake it into a powerful proprietary AI model that competitors can't just copy. And the fact that 24% of these leading companies are already doing this, that marks a significant tipping point. It's how they're building truly defensible advantages.
That's super insightful. It's not just using off-the-shelf tools, but really personalizing them deeply, making them your own. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about attracting this elite talent. With this kind of demand and specialization, how are these companies actually finding these people? Is it still about posting on traditional job boards, or is there a different game being played entirely?
The research highlights a really clear and maybe surprising truth here. 71%, almost three-quarters of companies cite personal referrals as their best hiring channel. That tells us that top AI talent largely moves through these high-trust, reputation-based networks. It's not enough to just post a job. You really need to be in the room, so to speak, or know someone who is. LinkedIn is helpful, sure, used by 39%, but it's far from the dominant channel. And those traditional channels, like executive search firms, 18%, or university partnerships, 14%, they trail significantly. It really suggests that the old pipelines just don't match the velocity of AI. What's also fascinating is the geography. London and San Francisco, still dominant AI hubs. But in key, 40% of respondents said they hire remote first globally. So for you, the listener, the takeaway is pretty clear. You either bet on density focus on London, 45% perceive it as having the highest concentration of elite talent, or the Bay Area, 37%, or you win by accessing global edge talent. Places like Dubai, Singapore, Bangalore are definitely on the rise in that regard.
That's a crucial insight for hiring managers trying to navigate this very competitive landscape. So, okay, once you've managed to connect with these talented individuals, what truly motivates them? What makes top AI pros say yes to a company? Is it really just all about the money, the compensation package? Or are there deeper drivers at play?
Yeah, it's interesting. While compensation certainly matters, it comes in at 35%.
Hmm.
It's quite clearly not the primary lever, not the main thing. What's really compelling here is that 60% of AI professionals are motivated by mission and purpose, 50% by the actual product impact they can have, and 39% by visionary technical leadership. This sends a very, very strong signal. The best people, they want to work where their fingerprints genuinely matter, where they can contribute to something meaningful, see the tangible impact of their work. It's about being part of something bigger than just coding.
That's a powerful message for companies trying to build their AI vision and attract talent. But even with that clear mission, what are the biggest internal hurdles companies face? What stops them from hiring this top-tier AI talent? Is it like intense competition from the big tech giants, or maybe those GPU shortages we hear so much about?
You'd think it might be those external factors, right? But the research reveals something quite telling. The biggest blockers to hiring, they aren't external. They're overwhelmingly internal. A full 30% of companies cite a lack of internal AI maturity, which basically means they aren't actually ready to effectively onboard or even leverage the AI talent they might attract. Imagine inviting a world-class chef to a kitchen but you have no ingredients, or even a working stove. That's kind of the lack of AI maturity we're seeing. Then 27% point to internal compensation benchmarks that simply aren't competitive enough for this market. And 14% mention brand reputation. Maybe they aren't seen as an exciting place for AI work. So this strongly suggests that companies that don't have a cohesive AI story, that can't clearly articulate their vision and purpose in the AI space, they simply lose out. They're trying to win this talent arms race, but maybe with an outdated arsenal internally.
Okay, that makes sense. The problem is often looking in the mirror. So let's say a company does manage to get a candidate in the door. What does that interview process actually look like for these high-demand AI roles? Are traditional technical assessments like coding challenges enough anymore, or has the bar been raised significantly?
Oh, the bar has absolutely been raised.
Yeah.
And it's multidimensional now. Technical assessments, yeah, sure. Coding challenges, system design problems, maybe building out a use case. Those are still standard, of course. However, things like product thinking, collaboration skills, and even ethical reasoning, those are now baseline expectations. They're table stakes. The numbers show it. 51% of companies specifically assess for collaboration and product impact. 45% evaluate fluency in ML architecture. And 53% still run algorithm interviews. What's really crucial here is that elite hiring means assessing for a blend. Deep technical knowledge, yes, but also a broad understanding of the field, and maybe most importantly, the ability to execute and collaborate effectively within a team. It's not just about what you know on paper, but how you apply it, how you work with others.
Okay, so for our listeners out there, maybe they're already in applied AI roles or they're aspiring to get into them in, say, 2025. What skills are the absolute non-negotiables right now? What do you have to know to be competitive?
Yeah, good question. This isn't about being a hobbyist hacker anymore, right? It's about being an end-to-end builder, someone who can take an AI concept all the way to production. So the non-negotiable skills for applied AI roles in 2025, based on this research. First, a keen awareness of hallucination and safety risks. That's 51%. Critical. Prompt engineering, 49%. That's essentially the art of crafting really precise instructions to get the best possible output from an LLM. Then fine-tuning large language models, 46%. Talked about how important that is. Deploying production-ready models, 41%, making it real. And API engineering, 39%. Integrating these models effectively. These are really the new table stakes. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, the winning formula seems pretty clear. 52.5% of companies now prioritize product engineers who are fluent in AI over, say, deep specialists in just one area. The companies moving fastest are embedding AI fluency across their entire tech stack, making it a ubiquitous skill, not some niche specialty.
That leads us perfectly into the financial side, the compensation. What are AI professionals actually earning? Can you give us some benchmarks? What's the total comp look like?
Yeah, it's always interesting to look at the comp landscape. For entry-level AML engineers, the most frequently reported average total compensation is actually less than $100,000. However, when you get to senior AI engineers, and importantly those AI product managers, the $100,000 to $150,000 range becomes the most common average total comp. Now, while expectations have increased moderately over the past year or so, it's also worth noting that most organizations, according to the research, don't currently offer AI-specific incentives like special bonuses or stock options just for AI roles, and they don't really intend to start.
Which kind of reinforces that earlier point, doesn't it? That mission and impact seem to be stronger motivators for many than just the raw salary number.
Right, that makes sense. So let's pull it all together. What does this all mean? What's the biggest takeaway from this research for the future of AI, for the future of business? How should we really be thinking about this AI native future?
I think
connecting all these dots, the biggest takeaway is this. This isn't an era of optional AI adoption, not anymore. It's a fundamental re-architecture of company DNA. It's changing how businesses operate at their core. The data makes it abundantly clear. The companies winning in AI aren't just hiring a few engineers here and there. No, they're redesigning their org charts, they're evolving their entire product philosophies, and they're building for compounding capability over time. From London to San Francisco to Dubai, you can see this visible separation emerging between companies truly embedding AI into their bloodstream versus those still just flirting with pilot projects or keeping it siloed. AI hiring, AI strategy. It's no longer experimental, it's become existential. And looking ahead, the trends point towards AI teams becoming deeply embedded within every product squad. We'll see a significant rise of product engineers who possess strong AI fluency as a core competency. And investment. It's prioritizing things like autonomous agents, co-pilots, and the developers who can build and manage LMM agents. That's the next wave of talent needed.
Okay, existential, that's a strong word. And are there specific industries where this AI talent growth is expected to be most significant? Where should we expect the most disruption and, well, opportunity?
The research points to a few key verticals expected to hire the most AI talent in the next 24 months. Fintech and insurtech are high on the list. SaaS and productivity tools. And cybersecurity. This really highlights where the most immediate and significant impact of applied AI is expected to be felt. And, consequently, where the talent wars are likely to be the fiercest. And, if we step back even further, there's other thinking out there, like Stephen Kruger's idea about the death of engineering. This suggests that the rise of AI could seriously threaten traditional mentorship paths, maybe even engineering quality itself, potentially devaluing traditional software engineering roles.
Yeah.
It could reshape the hiring landscape in ways we're really only just beginning to grapple with. It's a fascinating and maybe slightly unsettling long-term implication to consider.
Wow. Okay, so to quickly recap our deep dive into this incredible research today, AI is fundamentally transforming how companies are built. Full stop. From hiring strategies to their entire organizational structure. It's truly about becoming AI native in every sense of the word. It's not just a feature, it's the foundation.
Exactly. And the provocative thought I'd leave you, the listener, with is this. Are you building an AI native company, really architecting for this future? Or are you just trying to retrofit yesterday's model onto tomorrow's world?
That is definitely a powerful question to ponder as we look ahead. Thank you so much for joining us for this Note Lab Mode session. Really insightful stuff. If you found this deep dive valuable, please do share it with someone else who needs to hear these insights. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into critical research like this. We'll see you next time.